Hey guys, how's it going? So today we're going to be doing a bit of maintenance, starting with this golden rain tree right back here. We need to do some pruning. There's also a birch tree by the chicken coop I'd like to limb up a little bit. Just some general stuff. Now it's supposed to be 105 degrees today, so I tried to get out early. It's about 68 or so right now. It's very pleasant. It warms up pretty fast, but you know, that's the beautiful thing about high desert. I say 105 and that's hot, but at least, you know, we get a break from it. Every night it goes down into the mid 60s just about. So the plants get a break, we get a break. And I think that's why we are able to survive, me and the plants in this area. All right guys, so this tree, I love this tree. It's a Colateria paniculata. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's spelled really weird. This one was clearly here when we bought the house, but you can see like these branches right here. I mean, you can barely walk through. For example, yeah, there's no walking under that. We need to take care of that problem. And it's kind of drooping down into this middle area that we planted up. And it's starting to droop down into this circle flower bed area that we planted up earlier. Nice little trim. And then the birch tree, this is it right here. Some of you might remember this tree, like the whole top of it died out of it last year. And we got up there and tried to inspect to see, is it a borer thing going on? Does it have a disease? We could not find anything. And we had another birch tree out in our south garden. It was a little globe, like a kind of miniature version that did this same exact thing. And usually when you have borers attacking your trees, you don't lose like the entire top. It's usually like a branch, you know, a branch here and there start to die out, not like the whole top. So we actually didn't trim it out or anything, and this one has grown a ton to where you can hardly see any of those branches anymore. Like if you look up in there, I mean, you might be able to see a couple little ones popping out through the top. Let me give you a view from the other side. This is an awesome tree. So avalanche birch, I will have to look up the stats, but I want to say that it grows 45 to 50 feet tall. I mean, don't quote me on this. Maybe we can put the stats on the screen, and like a 35-foot spread, but it turns an electric yellow color in the fall, and it's just gorgeous. And if you get up closer here, you can see how beautiful the bark is. Look, oh my word. That's like picture perfect birch right there. Also one that we cannot walk under, and there's a branch like boom, right here. So we've got to take care of that. Now I don't make it a huge habit to do a bunch of pruning right in the middle of the hot part of the summer, but we do spot pruning like this just to rectify any issues and make sure that we can still walk around our space. And these are the tools I'm going to be using. I've got my Felco 2s, we've got the Felco 22 loppers right here, and then we also have the DeWalt battery operated trimmer, which I tried out for the very first time when we pruned up that elderberry bush into a tree form. And it worked out so well. So let me show you. Put our pruners there and look at that. It's supposed to handle 1 or 1.5 inch branches. I think it depends on the type of wood that you are cutting, if it's really hardwood or dead wood or, you know, soft wood like this is here. When we trimmed up the elderberry, that's pretty soft wood, but I was going after some really thick branches, and it cut through them as long as I pulled the trigger more than once. Word of warning though, I have heard stories of people lopping off fingers and things. I mean, this is strong and it's fast. So like, be very careful. Whenever I have this tool not in operation, I take the battery out of it and put it out of the way of my kids, just because they're not usually in the habit of getting into my stuff and messing with it, but you never know. And then if you get to going too fast, you know, accidents can happen. So I don't know, I just feel like after the last time I didn't say anything about that. Just be careful guys when you're using your tools. I mean, you could just as easily cut yourself with your Felcos too. Sometimes I don't know, when we're doing mindless, especially pruning, I don't know, mind wanders and we don't pay attention as much as we should, things can happen. All that said, let's get after this. Oh my goodness, you guys, it looks so much better. I haven't cleaned up much of my mess other than what Monica loaded up and took down to the garden center because I want to make a quick arrangement out of some of these, but I wanted to stop quick and just show you how much it looks like this area can breathe. Oh, the whole thing. Now, as I was pruning, I did notice a number of little dead, kind of scraggly, nothing major, up in the canopy, and I can't quite reach those without a pole pruner, so that'll be a job for a different day. But I am just thrilled. I mean, all the way around this thing. It really needed it. And look at this. You can actually see down the walkway. Again, need to clean up my mess, but I carved that out right there, carved out the section in here. There's some echinacea, the poor things were just being smothered by roses and wisteria, and they're still blooming. Look at these. Tough little guys. But I found myself in a little bit of a quandary over what to do with these two branches down here. Because here's the deal, if I took that out, it would take out a pretty good portion of the shade that's being cast on the chicken coop, which right now when it's getting to be 105, 107 degrees, I think it's pretty important to keep shade on them. And I can't put the branch back. I can always take it off later, but I can't put it back. And same with this one right here. I figured, you know, if I took this one off, I would need to take that one off because the next one doesn't start until quite a bit up the tree. Also, if I took those off, I mean, that trunk would be so tall and there's not enough upward growth to support, like proportionally, to support that long of a trunk. So maybe one day, once the tree has reached its, you know, more of its max height, I can limb it up, but I think it would look really weird if I tried to do it now. Hey, you two get along, all right? I can hear you down there. There's Russell and Douglas. Oh my goodness, I've got quite the mess. I did end up grabbing the pruning saw because there were a couple of a lot larger branches than my loppers or the hand pruners would handle, like this one here too. And I have to say, the battery pruners are a complete game changer. Oh my goodness, it's so fast, just zip, 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 and so much less strain on your wrist and arm. Oh, but here's what we're gonna do. I've got this beautiful champagne bucket that had nothing in it, and we've got these beautiful pods, so I thought I would just make a great big old arrangement of those beautiful pods, and we'll put them in the house. That's why I didn't want to clean up, because I want to glean from my piles. So let's get that done, and then we'll clean up, blow the area off, and it's gonna be, oh, it's gonna be so good. Got it all cleaned up and it just looks so nice. Oh, I love it when you can get out and do chores like that. This whole area can just breathe now. And it was so cute. While I was out here working on putting together an arrangement, Benjamin decided to start a little fairy garden. This is excess dirt from the boxwoods that were planted over here. Look at this. Oh, this area, you guys, it's just starting to really come together. He was so proud of this though, really wanted to explain every little piece that he was working with, and he's excited to come out here tonight because a few of these pieces are supposed to glow in the dark. I did also order the containers that are going in each corner of this patio area. I don't think they're gonna be here until they're thinking like November. Doesn't matter, I don't have anything to put in them anyway, but it was just nice to at least get those ordered. I still am unsure as to what we're gonna do in the center, but I'm really enjoying the plants in there right now. And now that we actually have a clear view out, the whole area just looks so much better. The pots that we're putting right here, I think they were like 28 inches tall, 36-inch diameter, so there will be one here, in that corner, here in this corner, and also right there. And then this area right here, Oh, like it makes you actually want to walk through there now. And I'm not sure that this, I mean, I've explained this to you guys before. I'm not sure that we're going to keep this a pathway. It will still be some sort of walkway right here, but I might put something beautiful like right here and then kind of create a block so there's a little bit of a secret space in here, just because I don't think that we're going to have enough space in the end for a gravel, because you know we're putting in gravel where the benches are. That means that this pathway and the gravel are going to kind of like run right next to each other, and I think that'd be weird. And honestly, I would like to have the depth of planting, like the opportunity to plant maybe a big evergreen right about here. Now let me tell you what, that Bordeaux Supertunia in the background, that just is a stunner. All right guys, before we call it today, I think we're gonna run out and pick the blueberries. There's just a handful. We will get like maybe a cup of blueberries, but I'll show you what those look like. They don't look like much. We always struggle a bit with blueberries because they like it to be so acidic, and we're so alkaline. No matter if we put acidic soil in there, soil acidifier, and it is helpful, it does help, but even our water is high pH, so it just leaches that acidity right out. Anyway, we do have some fruit on them though, and I thought, oh, we could get those picked at least, and then I've got to go water. Okay, here we are. We're kind of on the back side of the orchard, and we've got blueberries in these galvanized tubs. So you can see they're just not super full. I've got several plants in each container just because I know they're not going to grow to full potential size, but we do have some nice berries forming up, which is exciting. There's a few on these plants here. We've got a weed in here as well. Excellent. We've got a mixture of blue crop and blue gold. I think there's probably a Spartan in here somewhere, maybe a Patriot. Look at that. Oh, those are beautiful. Those are coming from a Jersey. This is the Jersey variety. But just popping right over the fence. Look at these. Honeycrisp apples. Looking beautiful. There's a ton of them too. And we do have these set up on a drip system, so they're watered every other day fairly consistently. You can see some moisture down in the soil there. There's the drip for this one here. But I think we'll be able to get a few nice berries. I'm using this basket right here. I picked this up this past winter when I was down helping at the garden center unpack boxes. They got these sweet little baskets that have a liner in them so that it holds smaller fruits in really nicely. Okay, let's see how many we can get. All right, I am sheltering in the shade of the apricot tree here in the orchard. I think we got about a cup and a half. I'm really happy with that. Some of the berries were really big, nice big size. Most of them were like on this side of things right here. So on a little bit of the small side, but I'm really happy. I tasted a few of them along the way, and they're super sweet and delicious. And even though we struggle with blueberries here, I remember my parents planting them kind of near their orchard area several times when I was growing up. Like they just kept trying and trying to grow these blueberries, and they just wouldn't do it, especially in the ground. And even though we have issues growing them, I will probably always still try. We do have the best luck when they're in containers over in the ground. I remember my parents trying to plant them in the ground several times, kind of near their orchard area when I was growing up, and it just never, they would never take, and they always would struggle. They always had chlorosis, like they needed iron, and it just because our soil is too darn high pH for those to really thrive. But I love fresh blueberries so much that, you know, I will always probably give it a try. Now those might do better if I had them in a spot that was sheltered in the late afternoon. Those get sun all day long. Like they don't get any sort of reprieve, which I think is typically what they like when they're in an environment that they like in terms of soil and that sort of thing. But it's pretty intense here in the summer. I mean, you can see right now blue skies right here, no cloud cover, no humidity, or very little humidity, which I do think, like, it's nicer for me to work out in the dry heat, but I think a lot of plants react better when they have some cloud cover. They have a little bit more humidity, but either way, it's always fun when we can even just come out here and maybe not get enough to freeze or to make any batches of blueberry jam or whatever, but we can harvest a little bit here and there just to eat fresh. So that is it, you guys. I need to go handle all of my watering chores, make sure everything stays hydrated during this hot spell. It does look like we have 4 more days of that, and then we are supposed to maybe turn a corner, at least for the week after, and we'll be in the mid to high 90s, which is much better than 105, 106. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.